Hello everyone. I am slowly but surely making my way back into the online space after the winter break. And for anyone that was tuning in before the end of the year, I was working on a deadline, and I actually worked right through Christmas and through till the end of the year to get that done. So yeah, my time to kind of unplug and recalibrate has been at the beginning of this month, and I'm just now starting to kind of move back into operational kind of territory, and therefore I have had maybe what some of you have already experienced or perhaps are still going through, of especially when you've transitioned from one space physically, if you've been somewhere else to another, and there's a relief in some ways to be back in your own zone with your own responsibilities, but then also this kind of awareness of like, okay, yes, these are all my responsibilities, these are all my things, and it is easy for that overwhelm to kind of creep up and just kind of get a bit of a chokehold. And so I have registered that and noticed it, identified it, named it, and kind of gone, okay, yes, I know what this is. I have met you before, and part of that sense also of then being drawn into the energy of should, I should be doing X, Y, Z, and this is all whilst you are actually still in a kind of transition orientation phase. And in order to be clear and coherent and to actually make sure that you are taking the right steps that are kind of aligned with what your goals are, that for me at least can't come from that should place, because there's a kind of split focus then. And also should doesn't take heed of my signals in my body, in my emotional energy, in my psyche, in my kind of spiritual relationship. It doesn't care about how any of those things feel, because it's kind of operating at a subconscious level that is driven by anxiety or projection or borrowed ideas about expectations that are kind of placed on me. So it's been a good reminder to encounter that, and then to be like, okay, I do need to check in and do a little hello, but also it's not from a place of should. It's been about waiting until there feels like there's an opening, and it feels like there's a channel for expression where something is actually organically ready to bubble over and to emerge and to be explored in real time, and for that to be a space of invitation for yourself where there feels like there's an opening, and then there's a kind of recognition about trying to meet that impetus and that energy whilst it still has a bit of movement and momentum to it, and to kind of like open that door and say, okay, let's step onto that threshold, and let's begin to explore what is on the other side of that. So that is kind of energetically where I feel I'm at. And also there is a sense that in terms of how I will show up in the online space and the format of how I do things, I do feel like it's kind of time for a change. And I'm not quite sure what that is yet, but I just want to name that and acknowledge that because, yeah, being the start of the year and there's a few personal creative projects in the pipeline that will kind of be taking front and center, I hope. So that is going to change overall my kind of workflow, and it is going to be affecting this work and the kind of facilitation stuff as well. And I did speak to that a little bit in some of my end of year reflection videos about kind of things that are coming up or things that I've set in motion. So I'm waiting for those things to land on my plate, I think is the best way to put it. And therefore, yeah, it's kind of there's an anticipation of things coming in, an anticipation of shifts, and wanting to create a bit of room and space to be adaptable and responsive to those changes as they come, which means not putting too much on my plate at this point, so that there is actually space there for me to meet those things and digest them as well. What else? Yeah, just that kind of tentative step forward, I think, and just feeling that that is a good space to be able to honor that. And yeah, going to be doing a challenge next week, hosted by Lisa Johnson. So that's always nice to have a bit of structure at the start of the year, and a kind of template offered by someone else with a little bit of a kind of nudge there as well. So I will be kind of posting more regularly as of next week, and yeah, feeling into what that feels like and how that lands for me, and actually kind of being careful and mindful about being more reflective with that, and actually wanting to draw some data from that in terms of how it feels to me, and what I want to kind of keep implementing going forward. So yeah, this space will be kind of going through shifts and changes over the month of January into February. So yeah, if there are particular formats of content that are kind of feeling, yeah, that you prefer, that you find more engaging, let me know. If there are questions that are coming up, I'm kind of feeling called to do a bit of a Q&A type segment, not with any specific topic focus, but just kind of keeping it quite open, because yeah, the questions and the way that other people ask them and frame them give you an opportunity to describe things in a different way, and I find that really, really helpful. So yeah, if there are questions that you have about business, about voice work, about creative practice, about life, just keeping it open, and leaving that possibility and avenue there for you to engage with me as well. And as ever, if you have kind of more specific inquiries that are project based, the best way to reach out to me is by email, or go onto the contact page on the website, and there are a few different contact forms on there for individuals and organisations. So I can't think of anything else right now, but it is Friday night, and hence the patterns of when I will show up is very much when the energy is arriving for me to be able to do so in a way that feels aligned. So if you're watching this on a Friday night and you're still beavering away and working, I hope you have a good weekend, and I hope that January is meeting you, meeting your pace, meeting your curiosity in tandem with with the resource that you have available to you. And I'll speak to you all very soon.